So welcome back, guys. And as this little cat has been very, very pesky, hello, say to match you guys. So we are gonna be interviewing a few players here from both sides. We're gonna start things off, of course, on our first runner-up, Vietnam. Oh, so very close, but unfortunately, no cigar in the end. But at the very least, we are gonna have two amazing players with us. We got Ocschos and we got Justice Simon in for the interview. So hello, say hello, guys.
Hello.
Wow,
Hello.
this is a big awkward. I'm not just a salmon. I'm we solo.
Oh, it's solo. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, it's solo. I was lied to. I was lied to, guys. So I have to do this right now. So it's solo.
Where's
and,
Justice Simon?
and Occhos instead.
he's busy, I think.
Yeah, it's a
So
busy boy. No
I mean,
worries. No
yeah,
worries.
I'm standing in for him.
I love it anyway. Solo being here with us, and hey, you guys did an amazing job, honestly, in the brackets. Some really good games, some really good runs, winning out against Team Philippines. Yeah, that was one, and only losing by one to Singapore, not once but twice. So, what can you say though about the whole Southeast Asian League experience?
Well, the league is obviously really well format, I think, and great players participating in it. Although I think that it could be a little bit improved by player turning out picking the match instead of just randomly playing the round.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Of course, there's always room for improvement. It's the inaugural season, but I gotta ask you guys: do you have a good time, especially representing Vietnam in the Southeast Asia League?
Oh, certainly. I mean, I didn't directly play the game, but I supported the player
Yeah.
as a coach and a manager. So, giving them motivational speech,
Oh.
giving tips on strategies, build,
That's
you
good.
know,
What-
comforting them when they got their ass handed to them.
True. You need to have that comfort right there. You also need to comfort like a certain player who has those internet issues, right? Akcha. So
Yeah.
those are things. I gotta ask you guys though, what were like a few issues you had during the run? Because we all know that it's just basically, oh, we're all coming together in the league and everything, and we all know we also have these heavy hitters that aren't able to participate. Maybe something we can look into for our next iteration.
There's not that much of an issue because our player is fairly free enough. No one is busy with much, so we can arrange the schedule properly. Um,
I mean, that's
yeah,
that's a problem.
that's
That's
fine.
okay.
I think everything run very smoothly, so there's no need. There's not really any
Mr.
schedule.
Mizzle. Mr. Mizzle doing a good job.
Yeah.
Mr. Mizzle always doing a good job. How about you, Akchas? Anything you liked, anything you disliked about what went on over the past 2 weekends?
Mm, I don't dislike anything.
Ooh, yes.
I love the first week. You guys did the best intro
Yes, sir.
ever.
That's I know that's their side of the thing. I'm gonna soundboard. I'm sorry, but it really just goes to show we have things that make us unique, and you understand, right? What the whole thing is all about. It's basically the dance. It's a really
Oh.
stupid dance, in all honesty. It was very popular for years here in the country, and at least we're bringing it back through you.
Oh,
Octa is always an amazing guy. But Vietnam, pretty solid run. Anything you guys would have maybe wanted to do compared to what actually happened into the SEAL?
What do you mean?
Like,
Yeah, anything happened differently?
yeah, that kind of thing.
No,
Okay,
we would,
no
would like
regrets.
to win the final.
Of course, we all want to get the dub there, but it really
Yeah.
just is. It really is just a really good run. I mean, Vietnam has been one of the strongest countries in SEA, that's for sure. And I have to say that they are one of the biggest communities. You guys have so many tournaments, right? You guys have so many people
Yeah,
in the
minor
institution.
tournaments.
It's ridiculous how alive StarCraft 2 is in Vietnam is, and having you guys here always competing. always doing a great job. In all honesty, always making these matches happen in such a good way has been a pleasure. Now, I got one question though for Ocschos. How does it feel to have better internet over this weekend?
Um, I no idea
Oh, his
because I
play
always
certainly
like.
improved.
Yes, not floating on minerals and gas. Congratulations, actually getting his timings right.
Actually, I come to the coffee shop and
Ooh,
play it there.
so there you go.
Uh, yeah, my internet still bad at the morning. I don't know why.
And you know, my internet's a lie. It feels like it's good, and suddenly it says, "Poof, nope, we're going DC on Twitch right there." But you know, it's really just goes to show, right? Latency has been always been a problem in SCA, and you know,
Yeah.
it's hopefully it does get better. But how about you, Mizzle? Any questions you guys got for our Vietnamese representatives here? We got our coach manager, we got a player. It really feels like it's a full house already into the exit interviews.
Well, I really enjoy the sportsmanship of Vietnam, especially Ocschos, since he was really game last week for us to use the Ocho Ocho dance. I really well, yeah, I really thank Neo Micah first because he was the first guy I talked to, and then Justice Simon.
Mm-hmm.
They both helped me prepare and organize this tournament. So thank you, Vietnam, for helping us out.
Thank you, guys. And before we move on to Singapore instead, I gotta ask: is there anything you guys want to say, especially on stream? Anything you want to shout out? Anyone? Anything? Any kind of setup you guys want to talk about before we head on over to our champions?
I am a bit depressed. No, it's not because we lost. It's because we lost, and I cannot say my catchphrase for my Dota 2 days.
Ooh, what is it?
Oh.
Utay na mo bobo.
Yes! ah! Oh, that's so real! It hurts! It hurts!
Oh
It
my
hurts me so bad! Yeah, there you go. Tama lang yan. That's correct. That is the one thing you always have to say when you come from Dota 2. That's very much it.
Yes.
So I'm glad. How about you, Occhos? Anything you want to say? Maybe a certain shout out to your ISP? Maybe to fix your net?
I don't know what to say. You say my line. What I'm gonna say now?
You can say anything, just don't get my stream banned, okay? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just don't get my stream banned, we're good to go. You know, look for me. Shouts PLDT pretending to be good internet, but suddenly says no, you can't connect to Twitch. Wow, thank you. You know, I'm the caster producer, and I can't connect to Twitch. What a big donk right there, right? You know, feels good to get that out.
um, Maybe I want to thank you guys for the tournament.
Ooh.
The team Singapore, Malaysia, and Philippines. You are the best. Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
I really appreciate you
Yes.
guys, and thank you for going into an English interview as well. We know it's not your main language, but really appreciate not only you guys giving us our time over the weekend, but giving us some few words, and of course, would love to coordinate more, make the SEAL even bigger and better. And hey, you know, maybe just maybe we can actually drop something for its next time. But moving on over, thank you, Ocschos and Solo. Let's get
Yes.
Nameless on the board here from Singapore. So, Mr. Mizzle, can we get that
Thank
one
you.
set up?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate everything you've done for us today. So, yeah, Mr. Mizzle, you know, Vietnam, before we move on actually to Nameless real quick, I gotta ask you, what do you think about Vietnam's run into the SEAL?
oh well, it's. I thought it was gonna be Vietnam who will be champions, but I think Singapore is really prepared for this tournament. So kudos to them.
Kudos to that. And speaking of Singapore, we are gonna get, well, one of the representatives has been the casting guy for the SEAL as well on the SG side. It is the man himself, Nameless. So just before anything else, you know, Nameless, congratulations for you guys winning it out. And in a fashion,
Yes.
like I said when we talked before, in a fashion that I did not expect. One Protoss for the SG team for the grand finals. What a head scratcher there, but proving to us that SG is just not Protoss Nation. It's everything and more. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, honestly, I think the last game as I was casting it, I mean, I was just really nervous. I was sweating everywhere, you know. Like especially when Crested was actually heading down for the final attack. Yeah, I was just really nervous, but thankfully he pulled through as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think everyone. I mean, it's definitely a team effort over here. So everyone had a part to play because yeah, I think just by playing in the tournament itself, yeah, it's. I think they have just done a lot of contributions, and I think I've actually achieved my goal in this competition, which is to allow everyone to play at least once in the tournament, except for Red Gunner guy because he is busy with his assignments. But yeah, I think I've completed my objective here.
Shout outs to RGG right there, especially hosting the SC2 online for the SG side yesterday. But, you know, it was a really good run there for Singapore, winning out against Malaysia, Vietnam, and then Vietnam again. Did you guys expect, you know, that much of a deep run in that way? Just winning out everything in the upper brackets?
Honestly, I think when I see the lineup that we have, like the players that we have in the first place, the roster, I think we had quite a pretty good team. And yeah, and actually, I was a bit nervous when Psycho actually he said that we should actually get more exposure for the newer players out there. So he actually opted out not to play in the on yesterday's games and today as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the other players actually managed to pull their weight, and yeah, they actually did a really good job.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, and I think honestly, like all the way up to the final games itself, like all of the matches were really close. Like I think we only won 4-3, and it's all down to the final game itself.
Yes, sir.
So I would say the other countries are actually also really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. It was fun to see, especially those new faces. You don't really see them too often, in all honesty. Especially as we said, you know, Terran and Zerg actually being represented there for the SG side. So it's a really good way to expose yourself. You guys are getting your own local casting, you're getting your casting here, and you're really proving that SG is a nation built on through races and building on up. So I gotta ask you guys, how did you really prepare for the SEAL? How much did you scrim for it? That kind of thing. Did you guys just play football arcade to get your teamwork on, or what? What was the case for Team SG?
So honestly, I think for this C League, this C League, I think we haven't really done like much of a team custom and kind of stuff. I think everyone has been practicing themselves individually because yeah, I think we didn't have like a lot of time to just come together and have practice session, but we used to have it. So I think the past community session we have together, I think it really helped a lot for all these players. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. You know, it's just all about the experience, especially if you're preparing for other tournaments. But I gotta ask you, you know, the same old thing from Vietnam. What do you guys like about the SCAL? And maybe something you might want to look into working on for our next iteration, perhaps?
Yeah, I think the one thing that I really like about just having the SEAL is I could see all the Singaporeans, they just coming together, just talking about the games itself. I think the chat in the Singapore Discord channel is just more lively than usual because they have to like everyone's working together to just make sure we win the next games. Yeah, like everyone's helping each other. I think I really like the community spirit that we have like throughout this whole SEAL.
I'm glad to hear it. In all honesty, we're just making sure your discords are alive and you're good to go. And in all honesty, this is our way to bring what we do to make our resurgence for our community, and maybe just maybe do it together with the region. But how about you? What do you think? What we can build on from the SEAL? Anything you might wanna maybe change or add on, perhaps, to the Southeast Asian League?
Yeah, I think first of all, the first edition of Southeast Asian League has been really successful because I think maybe we had some of minor hiccups with the procedure, the process of how we handle the games. But I think I think we learned a lot of lessons based on the first edition of SEL. Yeah, and I think in future we could actually expand into other Southeast Asian countries like Indonesia. Can have like
Yeah.
Thailand
Yeah, exactly.
come in as well, and we could probably even have a prize pool made if they're actually sponsors.
Ooh, it's time to
Yeah.
it's time to get those biz devs on, get a suit, and say, "Hey, can you sponsor this real quick?" And speaking of that one, how about you, Mr. Mizzle? Any questions for the SG side?
Well, What's next?
Is
Will
that
you
the
help
question?
me connect with Thailand and other regions?
Yeah, I think
Do they have connections? Like they have connections? Direct
I
connections?
yeah, I think direct connections. I would say I know quite a few players from Indonesia and Thailand itself. So yeah, I wouldn't mind just having to just get the players around, just to ask around if they actually have enough players to set up some of kind of a team league kind of format. Yeah, I would be happy to help if the other countries are they're actually interested in playing for the next edition of CU.
That'd be
Yeah,
great. That would be absolutely
yeah.
great. We can expand to even bigger and better things, and Seal can be something really we can rely on a given basis. It's all about making sure that we can build things together and make sure that we can all be available as much as possible. Who knows what other big names we can have? Who knows if it can be a good training pool actually for other names trying to make a name for themselves. And the Southeast Asian League, I've seen some names I didn't really see too much before compared to casting tournaments and the like, and it's great. It's great to see a whole different horizon for not only the Philippines but for Singapore, for Vietnam, and for Malaysia. And I really feel like we can go even further in this project. But as the champions of SEAL, what's the plan here for Team Singapore? How are you guys celebrating this dub?
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have we're not gonna be heading down for like a custom game session and stuff, but I think there are a lot of chat going on in the Singapore Discord about how Crested actually clutched the final game for us and how all the other players actually pulled through and just got us the first place in the CU League. So yeah, I think hopefully based after this competition we could get a few more community session and practice session with the other players as well.
Sure. And I get it, especially when we can have some of those practice sessions, get a few more of those games going on, and at the very least, get even more and more names for the SCAL. And I love it. It was a really good clutch. And, I guess one last thing to ask Nameless, especially your casting, how did it feel in that grand finals? Any ups and downs? Any parts where you're like, we're gonna lose, we're gonna win, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think honestly, after we won the first map, we were actually up 2-0. So
Yeah.
it's actually feeling really good. But afterwards, we kind of lost the next two maps, which puts us in a tie situation. I think it was 2-2, and then afterwards it hit into 3-3, right?
Yeah, 3-2, 3-3, and then it was all down to
Yeah.
PvP. And you know what? At
Yeah.
least it's poetic. You guys win with Protoss. I keep saying it's like, okay, sure, we get all these terms, these little circles. How does Singapore win? Protoss. Okay, not expected, but I gotta ask you though. Maybe what do you think was the turning point in that last game? Then was it really the upgrades? Was it just the number of units Crested have in the end, or what was the part that made you feel so anxious? Also.
Yeah, so I think initially when I think both of them were actually having like really mirror builds, right?
Yeah.
So afterwards, Crested decided to go for the early upgrades, whereas for Two String he actually chose to get the early attack. So I was actually quite nervous because there could be some sort of a timing coming up from Two String. But I think Crested was actually on top of his scouting all the time because he had 3 sentries. So there were a lot of hallucination Phoenix just heading on the other side of the map, just checking if there was any aggression coming up. I think eventually Crested actually had the economy and upgrade lead and he decided to pull the trigger.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thankfully, it kind of worked out for us. I think there was one moment in the fight that was pretty scary for us. It was when the Disruptor actually got quite a big hit
Oh yeah.
on Crescent's army.
It was huge. It was huge, especially on the Zealots and Stalkers, and we were talking about like, okay, he doesn't have blink, so he can't really dodge that. But it is what it is. Immortals, Archon staying alive, and exactly that. I completely agree. It really felt like Crested having the right direction. It's funny, right? When you get a macro game and someone goes for this kind of tech, someone goes for the pure upgrade, and it can really go down to the wire. And it's just you don't know which one's right. They can be both right. One can be wrong. It's like, okay, we'll figure it out. But it seems like Singapore has figured it out and has gotten the W. So congratulations to you, Nameless, and the rest of your crew, the rest of your community. And same old thing. Anything you want to say before we close this chapter of the Southeast Asian League?
Yeah. Firstly, I would like to shout out to all the countries, like just having all the team captains, especially like just rallying all the players every single day of the weekend. I think it's a really tough job, and actually scheduling all the players to come show up on time. I think it's been really tough on all the team captains. So yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank the team captains, and second of all, I would like to thank all the casters that has been casting throughout the game. I know it's a really kind of long schedule. Like I think each best of 7 takes around 2 hour plus.
Yep.
It's been really tough for all the casters. So yeah, props to them as well, and also especially Mizo. He has been handling a lot of the back end stuff, especially on the artwork, the scheduling, the rules, and stuff. Yeah, I think it's been really extremely tough for him as well. Yeah, and I think most of all, the important part is the players themselves.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, just showing up for all the games on time, just making sure just showing up the games on time, and I think that ensures that all the stream, everything has been smooth. Yeah. So I think, yeah, I don't think I have much to say, but yeah, thank you everyone for showing up for the CU League.
And thank you to both of our countries here. Thank you to Singapore. Thank you to Vietnam. Thank you, of course, to Malaysia and the Philippines as well. And thank you to Nameless, Solo, and Ocschos. Thank you guys for having some words here. And I guess it's time to wrap things up. So, hey, Mr. Commissioner, anything you want to say before we just dice it down and break it in the end?
Okay. So I just want to inform everyone that we'll be busy with internal tournaments in the Philippines. So we'll be having quarantine tournament 5. I hope you guys will also watch and support us, and then we'll do some other crazy tournaments, and then we do another
Yes, sir.
seal 2.
I can't
Yeah.
wait. I can't wait for another SEAL, that's for sure. It's gonna be really, really exciting. It's gonna be really, really fun. And it really feels like anything can happen for the region. But it's time to wrap things up, Mr. Mizzle. It is gonna be a quick little recap of what has been done so far. So first round, SG versus Malaysia. SG winning out 5-2. Vietnam versus Philippines 4-3 into the semifinals. SG winning out against Vietnam 4-3. And over to the lower bracket 4-3 between Malaysia and Philippines. 4-3 between Vietnam and Malaysia. And then in the end, 4-3 in between Singapore and Vietnam. You know what that proves, Mizzle? Is all of our teams are very competitive. All of our nations are really on par with one another. And it really goes to show that there are some really great nations here and there in the Southeast Asian region, and we can bring in the competition. Gotta say though, Mizzle, perfect 4-3 for me. You know, I'm a lucky charm for those 7 game setups. But besides that, these players have proven that they can brawl with one another. I really expect these guys, see each other in the ladder and all the like, and they have really translated it well in the Southeast Asian League. And who knows what is gonna be on the horizon there. We're looking for bigger, better, and even more impressive things for not only the Philippine region, but also in Southeast Asia. And who knows, maybe the next one gonna have a little bit of that wink with nudge nudge that we are looking for as well. But in any case, it's time for us to call it quits before the stream dies again. I have been Daks, and last weekend it was Malupate as well as Rio bringing you guys the action with the soundboard, of course, the MVP of the stream on Ice Boy Productions. You are here tuning on in to twitch.tv/DaksPH. Big shoutouts, of course, to Nameless and Bude for their own coverage as well for the SG and the Malaysia side. And who knows, maybe just maybe we can get non-English streams into the future as well. But this has been your official broadcast, and our champions have been crowned to be Singapore, the smallest nation, giving the biggest impact. And it really goes to show quality is always key in every single race. But it's time for us now to call it quits. It's time for us to call it a night. Have a great night. Have a great dinner. And we'll see you guys in our next StarCraft 2 endeavor.